Everyone, welcome to Grue, and we're gonna have a great guest on today. His name is Travis Hammer, and he's in a horror series called the Uns Unset Settling, and we're gonna to talk to him about the show and see what horror movies he likes, and it's gonna be a fun interview, and we're looking forward to it, and we're gonna get started with it now. Right. Thank you for being a guest today on Grue.
My pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Thanks. Wanted to ask how you're doing with everything, how crazy the world is right now, like with all this stuff going on. Has it slowed down your work and your roles?
Well, it should. I mean, are you speaking specifically about the COVID-19?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that shut down the entertainment business from about mid-March through, I don't know, November. But then things really, I mean, from the end of November on, things I think just ramped up because I think a lot of people in the business, they just had all these little projects that they were backlogging or like loading up and loading up and loading up, and then it just seemed that there was more than an average number of productions getting to work at the end of 2020 and then even now. So I think things seem to be making up for lost time.
Oh, good. Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. Awesome. And I just watched a show that I didn't even know was out, and I binge watched it and loved it, and that's like the reason why I wanted to talk to you about the show. The the on the settling, and
Yes.
yeah,
It was a I loved that from really the first page of reading the script. It was perfect because um well, do you play any role-playing games?
not really, like whatever's on PlayStation 4.
Okay, all right. There was a there was a role-playing game that I played in high school. It
Hmm.
was actually by um the game I particularly played was about werewolves. It wasn't a
Oh,
Dungeons and
nice.
Dragons thing. It was a modern day. The company's called White Wolf Studios, White Wolf Games, and they create what they call like a, the world of darkness. That's
Oh, wow.
their instead of like some sort of fantasy like dragons and mages and elves and dwarves and shit. It's like modern day, except everything's a little darker, and there's some vampires. There's like a
Nice.
there's ghosts, and everything's Seattle is Seattle, Chicago is Chicago, except it rains a little more often, and the politicians are a little more corrupt, and there's a little more crime, and there just happen to be vampires and werewolves. So it's like a modern darkness. So the unsettling, as soon as I read it, it just sort of tapped into this personal nostalgia that I had from high school of playing imaginatively in a world that was just like our own,
Yeah.
except there happened to be people that are a little more creepier. There are cults. There
Hmm.
are ghosts that are trying to communicate, and yeah. So as soon as I read the first page in the script was like they switched it up in the actual presentation, the editing, but the first page, page one, episode one,
Yeah.
the gal can't think of her name. She's like doing dishes, and a hand comes up out of the
Yeah. Yeah.
garbage disposal. I was like, yes, that's thank you. Yes, yes, please.
That was awesome.
Yeah, yeah. It was really really fun, really great tight story.
Yeah. So, for anyone who hasn't seen the show, tell us who you play in the show.
I play. There's a a very small I don't want to, well, it's a religion. It is a
Yeah.
religious group. We have religious beliefs. Um, I guess to some they might be considered a cult.
Hmm.
Uh, but we're a very small group of with specific religious beliefs, and I'm one of the the elders in the group, and we just happen to be uh, requiring some uh boy, the word sacrifice just doesn't seem like it seems there's a wrong connotation to the word sacrifice. um well, in every religion
Hmm.
the participants have to, you know, give something in order to receive something. The thing that we happen to be needing to give just happened to be some youngish children. It's just you can't make an omelet without breaking a few eggs, I guess.
Basically, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah, and then things don't go as anyone plans them to go. Such is
Hmm.
life.
Yeah. How did how did you first find out about the gig, and how did you get it?
Well, I mean, I don't know, the way almost everything happens, the producers, they hire a casting director and they say,
Hmm.
"Hey, casting director, do you know anyone that is maybe sort of could be a creepy elder in a cult that could believably have a desire to sacrifice teenage children?" And then the casting director's like, "Travis might be right." And I'm like, "Let's take a look." And then it turns out I was the best person for the job.
Okay, dude, that works, right?
Yeah.
What what scene did you like best in the show, and what kill did you like best?
Oh boy. What scene did I like best? I do recall there was a nice dinner scene where all the family
Yes.
was involved. Without spoiling too much, there was really just a nice. The thing that's tough there, in film and TV, there usually aren't too many 10-minute long scenes. They're
Hmm.
usually all short. That's just sort of how that storytelling happens. And this was just a nice little short scene with just a little, I don't know what do you call that, repartee, a little back and forth between me and I'm going to say David. I don't even know the other male lead on just like vying for power, and sort of like the personal relationships, blah, 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 blah. I mean, that, when I think of it coming to mind, that's just what popped to mind.
Okay.
Um, I don't know. The scene where I get to shoot a gun at the kids as they drive
Yeah, when they're
off.
driving off in the
That's
car, yeah.
sure. Like, yeah, yeah, you get to just walk out in the middle of the night with a rifle and shoot at people. Yeah, that's up there. Um, God, favorite kill? Favorite kill. There's a few. Yeah. We should do the math on how many people start off, and then like what's the
Right.
cast number at the end.
I know
Say about
exactly.
if you're in that thing, there's a 50% chance you're not making it to the end. Um, I don't know that I could pick a favorite one. Did you have a favorite kill?
Yeah, the one where the Alex Lange, who plays your son, his scene where they snap his neck.
Yeah, that's a bit of a oh shit, this is not a friendly ghost.
Yeah.
Yeah, and that played out so well. The special effects came out remarkably well.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
Really, really great. Really great.
Yeah, it was like that scene was crazy. It was so well done.
Yeah.
And how was it like working with Alex Lange, who plays your son? Like he seemed like really good because like the way he made his gimmick character, he was really scared of you as the father.
Yeah, it was great. It was nice to it's easy when someone is just a nice and open individual as he
Hmm.
is,
Hmm.
and it's nice and it's easy um when the script and the story facilitates whatever imaginative relationship you guys get to play into. And I don't know, I mean, that sort of sounds a little like fluff, but um it was good. I thought it worked out well. Like I have nothing but positive emotional, emanations when I think of working with Alex. So I guess that says something.
Okay. Yeah, he was really good in his
Yeah.
role. Like that when Alex interacts with your characters, the father, and like those scenes are like are really crazy. Like how he's scared. Then the girl's over the house and he has to hide the girl from his father. And
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it really plays into a lot of, I don't know, not just I think they did a really great balance of, I don't want to say what's the right word? The reality of life as a teenager,
hmm. Hmm.
mixed in with the realities of, sh- strict parenting environments, and then you twist in just a darker reason behind those strict rules, and yeah, it all cooked together really well.
Oh, definitely, yeah. And like, how do you prepare yourself like that in the mind frame to play someone like who you played in the show? You know, with the whole cult religious thing and
I mean, oh well, that was right around the time when I think it's what was it? Oh, shit. There's a documentary on maybe Netflix called Wild Country
oh, okay.
about a cult in, I'm gonna say the 80s, maybe early 80s, up in the, Seattle, Washington area. Now they weren't really culty in terms of like some sort of occult
Hmm.
cult. They were more
Hmm.
just a spiritual, religious thing, like more quote unquote normal. They
Yeah,
were a
yeah,
normal
yeah.
cult. Um, I think a lot of it just comes from, thankfully, again, quite frankly, I mean, I'm looking at a bookshelf right now.
Okay.
What is the easiest thing to, well, here, yeah, I'll show you. This will be a visual presentation. Um, Take this. This is a book. Hold on. Hold on. Where's the other one? This one. Okay. All right. Yeah, this is good enough. I mean, like, the formative years between, 13 and 18 are huge. They kind of
Hmm.
cement people to a large degree,
Oh,
fucking
definitely,
12 to
yeah.
18. Like, this is, let me see if I can, let's see if we can, oh, I mean, Jesus, yeah, hold on. Let me bring up all right, here, this is a role playing book. It's
Oh,
called
nice.
Race the Oblivion. It's like the rule book. I just opened
Okay.
up to a random page, and this is the this is the illustration. Like, what
Wow.
the fuck is that?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's nothing nice.
It
Um,
definitely isn't.
right. I mean, like, okay,
Oh, damn.
what's going on there? Who the fuck knows? Like, there's some uh Jesus Christ. I mean, like, this was
Oh my
I don't know,
God.
some weird skull dude that's larger than the entire neighborhood.
Yeah.
So this is, not the entirety of my imagination, but there is a large portion of my brain that is drawn to or can draw from whatever the fuck those images create in your
Oh,
imagination.
that is pretty freaky.
Yeah, there's a lot of crazy darkness
Yeah, yeah.
in in the thing that I spent the most time doing in high school was probably playing role-playing games,
Hmm.
of actively putting myself into a world where
Nice, nice,
where that's normal. Like
nice.
those are the things that are possible. So when it comes to preparing for a cult leader that's trying to like deal with, fire gods and needing to sacrifice children, or knowing that there's a possibility that there are things that don't go away when they die,
Hmm.
um it's like going to the batting cages when you played high school baseball and you're like, okay, this feels comfortable, here we go, now I feel like at peace, and things can come in and out in a more free way.
Nice, nice. Yeah, that's a really cool book. I like some of the images in it.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah, I mean, there's something so very powerful about imagery. I mean, when you've only been exposed to Friends or Seinfeld or Malcolm in the Middle,
Yeah.
if that is your if those are the images and stories that are continually being blasted into your brain, then those are the imaginative colors that you have to paint with in your own mind. But when you, gee, what the fuck is this? When you
Oh my God, I don't know.
when you've got some creepy dude floating in a chair over a ruined castle, um, you you know, at least that helps for me.
Exactly. There you go. Was was there any like cool or funny behind the scenes stories that happen on set that stand out to you the most?
Funny stories that happened on set. God, no. What was funny?
It,
Um,
well, it could be crazy too.
yeah. God, I'm racking my brain. Um, um, uh, Fuck. I'm gonna cheat here. I'm cheating and I'm looking up the name of someone. Um, Blah 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 blah. This is the way I'm filibustering. Um, I want to say Jonah, but I don't know that that's. I'm looking up. I'm looking at my own IMDb page. Going down TV, etc., 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 etc. Boom. Here we go. And cast. Oh, great. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Why are we not? Wait a minute. Where? What? Oh, Jesus Christ! This is the work. I'm gonna edit this out. Um. Oh no. Yeah, Noah. God, I was thinking Jonah. Uh, Noah, who played the small child, he was
Hmm.
really funny.
Okay.
Just because kids are funny, but that it's like they say, never do a play with children or animals, because that's where the audience looks,
Yeah,
because
that's
they're
true.
entertaining and
That's
interesting,
true.
and it goes doubly for for children on set. Um, yeah, I don't. I wish I had more
Okay,
anecdotes.
it's all right.
No, no more anecdotes.
It's all right.
About.
Did you hear if it's coming back for new season, or was it just like a
I,
one and done? Like,
I mean, I think there was an attempt. It was, open ended enough about, that world.
hmm
Um, but either I don't know the reasons, but there was not any no more season two as
yeah,
far as
yeah,
as far as I'm aware.
exactly.
Um,
There really isn't.
no, no. But the writers, I remember talking with them. They've got plenty of ideas. I'm sure something similar will be created from their creative minds.
Okay, okay. And there was like another sort of like horror film you were in, VKW. It was like, oh,
VFW,
VF, not VK.
right?
It
Yeah,
was it was a very gory film. Like,
yeah, yeah.
how's it like working on set for that?
That was great. It was great. It was a fantastic experience. Like we
hmm
cranked it out in, like, I don't know, three weeks or so.
Really? Wow.
Um, yeah, Joe, the director, just super solid rock star. It, I don't even know what to say other than, again, it was nice to live in a world that was a little darker than most. It's not a rom-com. There are, you know, drugs that are being pushed that are turning people basically into mindless zombies,
hmm
and we're willing to do whatever it takes to get our drugs back when they're taken. And it's just like, yeah, and it gets a little gory, and it's,
Yeah.
um, yeah, I don't know. The wardrobe, the wardrobe I got to wear, I was like, thank God this is my wardrobe. It's the best goddamn leather jacket I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, it was like the the gore was great. I love horror movies with like a lot of gore.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't know what their budget was on fake blood, but they
Yeah,
used a
yeah.
lot of it.
Now, are you like a horror movie fan at all?
Huh. Um, Not to the degree that I will, like, I don't know, go to a horror fest just to see a bunch of horror movies.
Okay.
Um, huh. Would I describe myself as a horror film fan? Um, I bet there's probably something different that I get attracted to. If you were to name off different horror films, my yay or nay would probably be, I bet we could, if we did 100 films, we could probably find like a different reason why I liked those horror films. But just as a genre, I don't know. I mean, I like films with, vampires and werewolves
Yeah.
because, of role playing games. I mean, I love the Blair Witch Project
hmm
because it's fucking awesome.
It
Like,
is.
everyone should be able to acknowledge that that's a fucking awesome film,
Oh yeah.
not just because it's a horror film. Fuck, what was Oren Pelly's big movie? The cameras. It was all a camera, in the house. Big crazy horror film. Big crazy horror film. Oren Pelly. We're both gonna be like, oh yeah. Now he doesn't have a super recognizable name. Um, God
Trying to
damn it!
think,
It's a
but there's a
movie.
lot of
It's like
cameras in
it's
the
a
house.
family. They start with like a Ouija board. What are
hmm
you thinking? Um, Fuck, we would be horrible on horror Jeopardy. Um, Orin Pelly, Paranormal Activity.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Again,
They made like
paranormal act.
seven of those films.
Yeah, but like the first one, am I a
Mm,
fan of that movie? Absolutely, because it was done, it was innovative. It was a good, simple story. It was told where
hmm.
you get drawn into it. Like, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly.
Um, what was it? The fourth kind?
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
The fourth kind?
yeah,
That
yeah.
freaked me the fuck out.
Yes, yes,
I
yes.
remember, I mean,
I saw
that
that. Yeah.
again, it was innovative in the sense that it was like, hi, I'm whatever the fuck the actress's name is, I'm going to be playing this character. And you're like, oh, okay. And now let's have an interview with that character. And you're like,
Hmm.
oh, so this is real. So this is, and like the use of fake recreated scenes with real scenes that were also, it's just like, it's mind blowing and it pulls you in so that you're like, oh shit. Now, see, now again, those three films are all quote unquote like a found footage, reality based horror. The first three that come to mind are all Blair Witch's found footage, Paranormal
Hmm.
Activities found footage.
Yep.
Even the fourth kind is a found footage
Yeah.
type thing. So there's something that I guess I appreciate because horror is, it's border. I mean, it's say fantasy in the degree that it's not fantasy again like Lord of the Rings, where
Hmm. Hmm.
it because it's an everyday world usually that's being presented. It's a little harder maybe to trick the mind into thinking that this could happen.
Oh yeah.
Like
No,
it's
exactly.
it's it's harder to get the audience to believe that yes, there is some guy that gets burned up that comes back in their dreams because you're
Oh,
like, yeah,
Freddie.
but
Yeah.
not really. But when you spend 20 minutes of a film just watching people interact through
Hmm.
their home security cameras and then weird shit starts happening,
Yeah.
you're like, oh, wait, is that real? Like, how
Yeah.
did
Like.
you do what the fuck? Because you're already drawn into that baseline reality. Yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. Those films that feel real are always better because, like you said, Freddy is something that really can't happen. Like there's not like a dream demon that kills you in your sleep.
Yeah. Right. 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 Yeah. I guess so. Of those kinds of horror movies, I have a great appreciation for those
Okay,
reasons.
nice, nice. And you also play John Doe in you were in a few episodes of the show
Yeah. Godless.
Godless. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a wow. On a almost similar note for different reasons. What what was great just about the physical the physical production of like reading the Unsettling, like the world made sense in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
um Even VFW, the world made sense in my mind because it was um I mean, like half my preparation for VFW was just listening to the soundtrack to The Crow over and over
Oh my
again.
God, I love The Crow. Love The Crow.
And it worked. It was like, oh, this is the
Mm,
same world. This is the same world as The Crow.
yeah.
And then whereas Godless is a western, what maybe didn't necessarily explode into my mind from reading the script, they brought to life with the set because they just built the entire town from scratch. Like there's different roads. Like it's somewhere in the desert of New Mexico, there's a town that they built, and you could
Oh,
just walk along and you could see like, oh, that's the Undertaker's store. You can look in the window and you're like, oh, that looks like a real place. Oh, here's the
wow.
general store. Oh, they've got stuff in there. What? Oh, there's the hotel. There's a thing. There's the saloon. So in terms of finding a calmness with what's going on in order to allow your imagination, the freedom to sort of walk around in
Mhm.
places.
Mhm.
They did a wonderful job of creating an environment that was real. That was real.
Wow, that's wow. Okay.
Yeah, yeah. It was an interesting experience as well because there's something about there's a difference when you know you're on camera.
Yeah. Yeah.
You feel a little extra pressure. As soon as
Yeah.
you hit the record button, you're like,
Mhm.
okay, here we go.
Mhm.
What was what was great about Godless is that they were using three or sometimes four cameras per shot. They were filming a
Oh.
lot. And because they had this entire town, there were a lot of people. Like I would be asked, be like, great, let's have you hanging out over here.
Mhm.
And, there's like cowboys, and it's, you can't easily discern who's a camera guy and who's a cowboy unless you specifically look at them. But if you're just living in your own imaginative world, you can just assume that you are on camera
Yeah.
every single take, and it takes away the pressure to turn yourself on, turn yourself off. You can
Mhm.
just always be in an on state of thinking whatever thoughts are going through your mind, because they might have like a 200 millimeter lens 500 feet away, and I still might be contributing something to the story, even as a small person in the background. I don't know. So let me just be who I am going to be
Yeah.
all day, every day, so that if I do happen to be in one of the four cameras that are shooting something, something is still being contributed. So there was no turning it on, turning it off, turning it on, turning it off. It was just on all the time.
Oh wow. And you talked about The Crow, like that's my favorite movie of all time.
It's
Like everything
fantastic.
about that
It's
movie,
fantastic.
the music, the soundtrack, like oh my God,
Uh,
everything.
it's
Everything.
Yeah, the sound. I mean, yes, the soundtrack. I was at a Best Buy. I don't know, like 8 months ago, and The Cure's um, "Burn" was
Yes.
playing
Yes.
on the speakers, and I had to find someone. Like, who's in charge of the music here? What's going on? And they were like, I don't know. It's just part of this thing that he set up. He who who did this? And they're like, no, it's just like our Spotify. I was like, okay, all right, okay, all right. All right. Because you don't hear that song too often.
No, you really don't.
Um,
You really
but
don't.
it's fantastic,
It is.
and yeah, powerful. It's
I
great.
know.
It's a
I
great, like,
know.
it's the power of music combined with the power of nostalgia,
Hmm.
that deep desire to go back to our youth that we will never
Yes.
get again, because yeah,
Yes,
it's gone for
exactly.
us all.
I mean, like The Crow is like one of those films that started like everyone getting fascinated with like goth and stuff.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah. It was crazy. Like the people were walking around with their faces painted white, and
yeah. I think even I'd be curious to see, you know, um, the wrestler Sting.
oh, Sting,
Like,
yeah,
he used to have like colorful makeup,
yeah,
but
and
then
then
at
he
some
went to
point he
Crow.
switched to a crow
Yes,
version.
yes.
Right.
I actually like that Sting better when Sting went all like Crow and dark
Oh
and
yeah. Yeah, it's fascinating, and I mean, I guess tragic to think of like what turning point, I don't know, like, because of Brandon Lee's death during the
hmm
filming of it, what,
hmm
how much that contributed to its cult status.
Yeah, that's true. That's
But
true. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, really just a super super solid film.
Oh, definitely, definitely. It's just great. Um,
Yeah.
what? what do you like to do for fun when you're not in films and acting and stuff?
Lately, I've been playing around with a 3D printer.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I've been making little people. I've been making, look at this little person.
Oh,
I
wow.
printed him,
Nice.
and this is a little person.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I just got a 3D printer, and it's been nice to like be able to like sort of like physically, I don't
Okay.
know if she's gonna get into focus.
Okay.
Yeah,
There we go.
it's
There
like
we
a
go.
little orc lady with a big old
Oh,
weapon.
wow. Nice.
It's been fun. It's like there's a little computer manipulating that you got to do, and then
Uh-huh.
the machine creates a thing from nothing. And it's kind of neat to just realize that even though somebody designed the whole thing,
Yeah.
you know, 2 hours ago that didn't exist,
Yeah, that's
and
true.
now
You're
it
right.
does, and it's just
Wow,
gonna sit
that's really cool. I'm shocked what those things can do. Like you could create nothing into to something and make it like
there. Yeah, I mean the detail. I mean, here, what's the best way? Like here's a little person,
oh nice.
and then there's also a bigger version of him.
Okay, okay.
And then just for the heck of it, I printed up a
Oh my God.
like why not? I don't know. I just think it's interesting. I don't know. I've been wanting to try and design my own board game. So
Oh
these
nice.
have also sort of been like proxies for I don't know, like just like stuff,
Yeah.
stuff things.
That is really awesome. I like that.
Yeah,
Wow.
a little person. You get to imagine who is this person? What's he thinking about? Yeah.
Is there any hidden talents that you have that fans might not know?
No.
He's like that.
No, not of anything.
All right. How,
Nope.
um, how about like what is there any television series on Netflix or something that you've been binge watching?
God, no. What's the last thing that I binge watched? Or just regular watched. I'm not a huge TV watcher.
Okay.
Be I mean, because I was so wrapped up with the Highlander TV show
Yes,
when I
yes,
was younger.
yes.
I just don't want to give my life over to something else like that. I don't. I think that as a storytelling medium, I think is tough. The idea of come back for more next week. We're not gonna wrap up the story. We're just gonna keep on pulling it out. I'm just like, can we just let's like I love a 2 hour 2 hour movie
Yeah,
thing. Like I
exactly.
love the that as an experience of you can tell a big story in 2 hours. You
Yeah,
don't need 7 years to tell that story.
yeah, you got a point there.
Yeah, so I think I prefer to
Okay,
movies,
nice.
films to TV shows.
Okay. Is there anything coming out that you want to talk about? Like any films that were TV shows that were pushed on hold, put on hold?
I worked on a film about a year ago called Baby Money.
Okay,
That'll be coming out at some point. That was a fun again. It's like a robbery gone wrong type
nice.
situation. Um, that came. I saw like an advanced cut of it a few months ago. that came out really well.
Okay.
That's you know what happens what happens when a bunch of people make a lot of wrong decisions. Um, yeah, yeah. I mean, yeah. There's something I don't know. What is it? Schadenfreude about watching people make bad decisions. You know, that's why we love the Coen brothers so much because a
Yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
people make bad decisions. It seems. Yeah. So that'll be coming out soonish, I
Oh,
guess.
nice, nice. Okay.
Yeah.
And where where can fans find you at, like your online stuff? Your,
I've got a I don't tweet or Instagram or things. Um I don't know. I don't even I mean, who even go I have a website, but it's like why bother? I don't know. You know, travishammer.com. It's like I think the only one that goes there is my dad just to like look for updates. I'm like, it's fine.
okay.
I thought about tweeting stuff, but it's like, what do you want to tweet about? Like just like random, like I don't have a if I had some sort of through line, if I was pushing a product or something,
Hmm.
but like, eh.
Okay. There you go. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on the show. It was so much fun. Thank you.
Yeah, this is great.
All right, buddy.
All
Have
right,
yourself
man.
a good week and good day.
Yeah, right back at you. Take it easy. Bye.
Thank you, buddy.